Hi, my name is Kara, and today I'm going to show you my current works in progress and my finished objects. So I haven't had a ton of time to knit recently, mostly because I am currently moving out of the dorms and back home, so everything's pretty disorganized. I do actually have a ton of time to knit, I just haven't had a lot of energy to finish anything, so you're just going to see a lot of like casting on objects and not a lot of finished ones. But I'm pretty excited to show you what I have, so let's just get into it. Also, as a side note, packing everything up kind of made me realize that I have 1 million works in progress that I just haven't finished or thought about in like months. So that's not great, and it made me at least realize that that's where all my needles were going, because I have this tendency where like if I think that I don't have enough yarn or I just kind of lose interest in the project, like I'll just set it aside and kind of bury it in the pile so I won't have to look at it. And then I go, I guess I don't have that many 8mm needles, and I'll order a bunch more. So now I realize that I have like 10 pairs, but that's a problem for later. Let's start with the object that's been taking most of my time. It's this knit dress. It's knit in Malabrigo worsted in apple green. Chartreuse, my favorite color. Unfortunately, it is taking me forever because it's knit on like 5.5mm needles. It's a midi dress. I'm modeling it after this one midi dress that I have that I really love the shape of. So I wish I had chosen to make a midi dress because this is taking forever, but I'm really excited about how it's going to turn out because I think it'll be really fun. It's light enough where I think that I can wear this even though it's fully summer here in Southern California and it's hot, but hopefully it'll be okay. It's going to have tie tops just so that it's adjustable, and it's also going to have ties on the side so that you can fit it more properly to your waist because I don't want like a shift. Those aren't very flattering on me. And seeing now in the light, I can kind of see which skeins of yarn, like when I changed it, because I didn't do that thing that you're supposed to do with like hand-dyed yarn where you switch it every few rows. That's on me. Hopefully blocking will help it, but if not, it is what it is. There's just no way that I am going to undo this dress because it is taking me so long. I can name like 5 movies that I've watched to it because it is taking me that long, but you know what? It's gonna be worth it. I have plenty of yarn left. I have nothing but time at this point, so hopefully I'll finish it by the next video. So this one isn't technically a work in progress, but bear with me. So I have this Hip Knit Shop fluff yarn in this beautiful baby blue, and I don't even know if the camera can really convey how pretty this blue is, but basically I have been on the hunt for a yarn like this ever since I watched the Harry Styles Tiny Desk, where he's wearing that really cute Gucci baby blue like herringbone sweater, and I really want to make it or something similar to it. And I haven't worked with Hip Knit Shop before, but it does seem pretty similar to Take Care Mohair, which I've been obsessed with and I love working with. And I've been in a big mohair moment recently, but I haven't been a huge fan of how thin most mohairs are. So I've been kind of searching around and trying a bunch of different chunky mohair yarns, and I will let you know how I like this one. I've been super excited to get this yarn delivery, not that I needed more yarn, but I'll let you guys know. The next project I have for you is this top-down sweater, and it's already been quite the journey. It's made in this really pretty 5 to 6 strands of yarn held together from Olivia Yarn Studio on Etsy, and I started it last night, and it's already been quite the journey because I originally intended it to be a Bennie cardigan because I have 1 million Bennie sweaters and I only have 2 Bennie cardigans. So I was like, let's try something new. And my default is that I like to do top-down objects when I'm exploring new yarns because top-down's easy, it's stockinette, and I just find it really soothing to make a top-down sweater. But midway through, I realized that I didn't really like the density of the fabric when I worked with 9mm needles because I thought that this yarn was more of a bulky weight yarn, and it's more of a super bulky weight. So I really like it on 15mm needles. I just had to unravel it from working on 9mm needles. And last night I also realized that there's just no way I have enough yarn to make any object that I want. So I ordered more yarn last night, so hopefully it'll come soon. But this is already 3 skeins worth of work, and I only have 3 skeins left. So I could make a really short cropped tee, like a typical Bennie sweater shape, but I kind of wanted it yes, obviously cropped. Everything I make is cropped, but I wanted it to be like a cropped sweater with really long, wide sleeves. So that's gonna take a lot more yarn than what I have. So stay tuned. So next we have a Mohair Strike Me Down sweater. And this sweater has also been quite the journey because I was talking to a friend at the time that I was casting on, and I very consciously chose not to look up the numbers because I was like, oh, it's my own pattern, I'll remember the numbers. I did not. So I ended up casting on a 3X, and it's also mohair, so my gauge is a little bit wider than it normally is, so no idea how big this will end up being. I normally wear an extra small to small, and it has been a really long time since I made something this big, but I'm pretty excited because it's mohair, so it seems pretty forgiving. I might just make the sleeves like really short because it'll be that drop shoulder on me, but somebody told me it kind of looks like Sorbet, and I agree. It's Wool in the Gang, Take Care Mohair in Lime Sorbet, and Rico Designs Chunky Mohair, something like that. I'll put it in the description when I look it up. But it's this really lovely like lime green, like pastel lime green, and this like baby pink. And I have tons of both lying around, so I'm okay with using a bunch of yarn for like a very oversized fit because I think it'll be cute and I need to get rid of my yarn. But hopefully I will finish this sweater by next week. I have 2 sets of 8mm needles just like holding on to it right now, and I am not letting myself take them out until I finish it because I am that determined to get it done. So don't get mad, but I have another Strike Me Down sweater. And this one, it only needs one sleeve. And this one's made in Malabrigo Mecha in the colorways Zelda and Natural. And this is technically a bulky weight yarn, but I would say that it's more of a worsted weight because compared to the other sample that I made, which was in Wool in the Gang Alpahcino Merino, and that's also a bulky weight yarn, this seems like a lot thinner. It kind of compresses a lot more. I don't know what the proper phrases are for that. And I only have one sleeve left. And I feel bad because this is supposed to be my mom's Mother's Day present, and I procrastinated on it. I was like, I'll see you at graduation. I'm not going to see you till then. I'll just wait until graduation to finish it. Graduation's passed. I've seen my mom. Mother's Day's been like a month gone, and I still haven't finished it. But I will finish it because it's a gift, and I need to finish all my gifts before I move to New York because I cannot bring gifts to New York with me. One more sleeve. Okay, another Malabrigo project I have is a Williamsburg Lite sweater. Wow, this color looks so pretty on camera. It's in the colorway Sunset, and it's Malabrigo Chunky, so it's actually plied. And I would say that this one's actually more of like a chunky yarn or a bulky weight yarn compared to the Mecha. It's very similar to Alpahcino Merino, which I adore working with. The only thing was that every time I worked with this sweater, when I washed my hands, it would run off and my hands would be like orange, or just I can kind of see an orange tint to my hands for the rest of the day. So I had to be careful when working with this one. But I really love it. I love an oversized cable sweater. It's too hot for me to do my typical Williamsburg sweaters now, although I do have to finish another gift later. So this is an extra large because I like it more of an oversized fit. And it took me forever to do these panels. I just kind of procrastinated on it because I thought I underestimated the amount of yarn it would take and that I had. I was just being dramatic. I definitely had enough. And I'm really happy with how it turned out. Yeah, strong Cheetos vibes, but really pretty and kind of good for like those colder summer nights. Not that that really happens that often in Southern California, but like say you go to the beach and it gets kind of cold when the sun sets, you just throw it on over and you're set. This one's somewhere in between a work in progress and a finished object because all I have left is buttons, and I'm using these like golden pins right now as like kind of a placeholder. But this is my original Bennie cardigan, and it's short sleeved, and it's made in Wool in the Gang, Take Care Mohair in Hot Punk Pink. And this is really interesting because this pink is super different than the Crazy Sexy Wool Hot Punk Pink. And I love the Crazy Sexy Wool Hot Punk Pink, like love working with it all the time. This one's a little bit darker. It's not as like saturated or like vibrant. It's still really pretty. I just haven't been as like jazzed about it, but yeah. And I just have to decide what buttons to use for this one. I have these really cute little heart buttons, and I was gonna just like put them on, but I can't decide if I want red or hot pink. And The color difference between the two, not huge, but I've been procrastinating on that, oh my God, for like a month now. And yeah, let me know if you have any thoughts about what buttons I should use, because I have both options and I can't decide. So I have a tank here for you now, and I don't have a name for it yet. I'm working on a pattern. It's a side tie tank, so it's super simple, and it's inspired by my friend Eunice, and I saw her in a tank just like this back in January, and I was like, I have to have it. And it took me a really long time to make this, or just like I've been thinking about it for a really long time, and I finally made it, and I was like, why did that take me so long? Sometimes I'm like that. But it's super simple. It has like kind of a mock neck. It is made in all garter stitch because I've been racking my brain on how to bring garter stitch into more of my patterns, because I think garter stitch is super underrated. It's super beginner friendly. It's really relaxing to do. It's really interesting to work with though, because it's so much wider than stockinette, and I've been designing a lot for stockinette, so it's kind of startling to be like, oh yeah, like this many stitches will give you a lot more width, but it means that there's not a lot of length, so you're kind of knitting for a lot longer, or you think that you are. But this is in Wool and the Gang Alpahcino Merino in Sahara Dust, and I love Sahara Dust. I have a big stash of it, and I'm usually much more drawn to really bright colors, but something about like the Alpahcino Merino in eucalyptus green and Sahara Dust like calls to my soul. Like I think that they're so beautiful, and they're like very neutral, but they go with everything, especially because I wear a lot of green. But really like this tank. We'll write up a pattern for it soon. I just have to take photos in it first. So my final object for you guys is the Drop It Like It's Hot cardigan. And I have been thinking about this one since I finished the Drop It Like It's Hot sweater. And it's made with 2 strands of Sandnes Yarn Kos. Don't know how you say that. And just look at this color. It's this like lovely seafoam green, light pistachio, pastel pistachio maybe. And I have the yarn here, but I don't know what the colorway is called. It's either 8512 or 106544. You can just take a look at that if that's any help to you. I think it's on the website, so maybe I'll look it up and tell you. But I ordered this yarn all the way from Norway because I just thought it was so pretty, and it just didn't disappoint. So yeah, I am holding it 2 strands together here because I think that it looks better with like a thicker texture, or like the stitch comes out better when you have a thicker yarn, because I believe that the Kos is probably more of like an Aran weight, or not a sport weight, maybe DK. And so when you do it just 1 strand on its own, the stitch pattern doesn't come out as well. So I decided to hold it double. And one of my test knitters a while back from the original Drop It Like It's Hot sweater did hold it double. So I was like, that looks great. Like, let's just do it. And yeah, I was procrastinating on this pattern for a while because I couldn't decide whether I wanted it to be like straight down panels or if I wanted it slightly tapered in. I did it slightly tapered in because I do like that look more. And I was procrastinating on it because I thought that the stitch pattern would be kind of difficult with increases/decreases. It was pretty easy. This is a bottom-up cardigan. Yeah, look for the pattern for this soon. I just gotta add the sleeves and then take pictures. And if I'm being honest with you, I definitely made one of the panels of the front longer because I miscounted how many I needed to do. But it looks okay. I'll let you know how it wears, but there's just no chance that I'm unraveling this because I already seamed it. I already added the button band. Sleeves are next. Okay, so that was my week of works in progress and finished objects. Week is kind of a loose definition. It's basically anything that I've thought about or worked on in the past week or recently. Yeah, hopefully I will have some more finished objects for you next week. And let me know if you guys have any questions, and see you soon. Bye.